So today we're super excited to have a chef and cookbook author, Brooke Lewy, with us of the Vegetables on Fire cookbook, which truly could not be more aligned with food team values. We are all about making vegetables the most delicious part of your meal, and we really feel like a predominantly plant-based diet, not only best for you, but for the environment and the world that we're all trying to live in together. We love meat. We love really high-quality meat, but vegetables we think are truly the answer. And in this season of grilling, nothing better than my personal favorite food, grilled broccoli, which there is an awesome recipe in here for. So with that, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me and for coming. It's really exciting to see the book come to life and get to cook from it with people instead of just developing recipes on my own. And I was saying before, grilling in San Francisco is sometimes kind of solitary because it's always really cold.
Out on your fire escape.
Exactly. So it's really nice to have a bunch of people to cook with instead of, trying to convince people to come outside with me. So I don't know how many of you guys have grills, do grill, just so I have an idea of where you're coming from. Okay, great. So a lot of people grill, and the book also has tips on how to make everything at home if you don't inside. So it kind of works either way. So I think I'll get started.
What are we having today?
The first recipe that we're going to demo is a quinoa tabbouleh-stuffed pepper. So we'll get started. And then the second recipe is going to be a carrot and avocado salad with all of the seeds.
All of them.
All of the seeds, exactly.
I love it. I read the title and was like, you're speaking my language.
So the idea for this book is basically that vegetables are as delicious as meat and that they can be super satisfying. So both of these recipes really aim to have a lot of flavor and texture and be really satisfying on their own. That said, I have ideas for how you could incorporate meat if you want to make them more substantial. So I'll kind of add that in as we go through. So for the pepper, I just cut them in half. You want to make them like little bowls because you're then going to stuff them. So I take all the ribs and seeds out. We're going to add a little bit of oil to them. You can add olive or canola. I use both in the book. I kind of, to keep things simple, just like to use the same kind that I'm using later in the recipe. So like for this recipe with the peppers, I'm using olive oil for the dressing, so I just use olive oil for the peppers. So you don't have to have too many things around. Here we happen to have both. Another thing I talk about a lot are the tools that I like to use to grill, and one of the things that I like a lot are sheet trays. I actually really like the quarter sheet trays, which are half the size of this. They're awesome for oiling vegetables that don't fit well in a bowl. We'll use them again for the carrots. It works great for like asparagus, anything that's sort of unwieldy.
So you see those like grill baskets, but you're saying you don't even need that. Just put a regular sheet pan on your grill.
You can use these right on the grill, but I even just mean for prepping your vegetables.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, this is the best kitchen tool ever.
Yeah. And for bringing things to and from the grill so you don't have like a bunch of glass bowls outside and things that can break. So I'm just rubbing oil on the outside of the peppers. I am going to sprinkle with a little salt because you want everything really well seasoned. One thing that I came across when I started writing this book is that people who are generally really creative, competent cooks kind of shut down when they start grilling vegetables, and they just like default to grilled zucchini or like slices of grilled eggplant, and they're so boring and bland. Yeah, like grilled zucchini does absolutely nothing.
It's totally
for me
the worst.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I guess somebody decided to placate the vegetarians here at this barbecue.
I'm so relieved that you said that because it could not be worse.
So
really.
my whole mission in this book is to like encourage people, be creative, use some of the things, and even if you don't make like the whole recipe, you'll see with the carrot salad, if you're like, I don't have time to do this whole thing, I'm not interested, even if you like just add the seeds to the carrots, you have a dish that's actually really delicious, and
even if you just grill the carrots.
Even if you just,
I would argue that still be delicious.
Exactly. So while the peppers are grilling, I just put them cut side down. I'm going to make the tabouli that we're going to stuff them with. So we have quinoa that your lovely team here already cooked for me. We'll dump that in, and we have some tomatoes. We'll cut those up. We'll move this till we need it again. So, depending on, you kind of want them on the smaller side because they're going to go in the peppers. So you kind of want bite-sized. So we'll just do a few. The cucumber, you could peel it or not, depending on your preference. I'll peel a little. You want it pretty small. And all of the recipes in this book are meant to be flexible. I think that's one of the things about grilling is like every grill is a little different. Produce changes depending on the year, so it's nice to be able to mix it up. So this salad, you could kind of do whatever. This is a pretty classic tabbouleh with cucumber and tomato. So we'll add some cucumber in there. If it has a lot of seeds, a good trick is to cut it like this and lay it on its side. Can you guys see, kind of? And then just cut out the seeds this way. Sometimes it's nice to take those out if there are a lot of them. So I'll put those in the bowl. Let's check on our peppers real fast. Tongs are an indispensable grilling tool. I don't like using the ones that come, they need a little bit more time. See, they have some marks, but they're not really soft yet. The kind that come with like grill sets are really stiff and unwieldy, and they can often hurt your delicate vegetables. So like this kind that's just like sturdy and normal kitchen tongs are great. The kind that comes tipped with silicone are also really great. Those are my favorite grilling tools. Let's keep adding to our tabbouleh. We'll add some olives. If you don't like olives, leave them out, obviously. Chop. Some people don't like olives.
Also not my favorite.
Yeah, sorry.
Confession. Really black olives being the worst offender of olive life. These look lovely, no offense.
And then tabbouleh generally has a lot of herbs, so we'll put some green onion in there. While I'm just chopping up this stuff, I can talk a little bit more. You mentioned grill baskets.
Yeah. Tools you would recommend?
Yeah, so the tongs, the quarter sheet trays are like two of my absolute favorites. In terms of grill baskets, I don't really like the very stiff ones. They work. They don't allow a lot of that like smoke flavor to come up into the food. They make like mesh disposable ones that you can use a bunch of times, and they're like $3. You buy them at the hardware store, and those work great. And if you're trying to grill something that's like rolly like tomatoes, you can turn up the sides so they don't roll off.
That sounds like a pro tip. I'm going to look into that. I haven't used those
They usually
before.
come in packs of 3. Oh. And they're just like, and also like you don't really need to wash them as much, and because that's like the best thing about grilling is that there's many fewer dishes, I would say. I'll cut the parsley. I usually bunch it up.
What else is indispensable to you?
The last thing I would say is heavy-duty aluminum foil is really useful. If you don't have a grill basket, you can use that in a pinch. It's really great for making packets. So if you make like campfire-style potatoes, or I have a recipe for smoking beets where you smoke them in a foil packet, and it's actually one of my favorite recipes in the book. It's really good and super simple, and or also I do artichokes that way, and I feel like artichokes are very often cumbersome and annoying, and people tend not to cook them because it's like you need the salt water bath or lemon water bath and steam them, and they'll get hot, but you can just put them all in a foil packet, put them on your grill. They cook, eventually you take them out of the packet, you throw them on the grill itself, and then they're done, and it's like much less of a production. So those are really my main cooking tools.
And what got you started with the idea for the book in general? I mean, I love it, but...
To be totally honest, Chronicle came to me with the idea. They were really excited about it and said, would you want to do it? Are you into it? And I was. Because
and you were previously at Delfina?
Yes.
At the time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I worked the grill station there. There were some veggies, mostly meat. So
this is such a fun
kind of
project.
came about that way, yeah, and it's been great. And definitely opened up my eyes to grilling vegetables and kind of forced me to be creative too.
Well, and the glory of California, you can grill year round.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
So
true.
it opens up the possibilities. And I know you mentioned from New York, it's probably not
Yeah,
as
from
much
New York.
grilling happening in the winter in
It's
New
true.
York.
So our peppers have gotten soft kind of halfway through, which is what we're looking for. You can see they're like starting to bend a little this way. So I am going to, in this recipe, I like to put some cheese in the cavity itself to get a little bit melty. And just make sure there's cheese on both sides. So I'm going to put some cheese in there and put it back on the grill. And this is like a really good place to show where you could put meat. If you wanted to do some, you could get some, I would saute some onion and some ground lamb and saute it in a pan, put it in the pepper under the cheese so it would get warm, stay warm. And then you put your tabbouleh on top, and as you cut through, then you get tabbouleh and cheese and lamb. And so it becomes even more substantial if you have like a mixed crew of people. So we'll let those cook on the other side. Our tabbouleh is almost finished. We need to make the dressing. I really like to make my dressing right in measuring cups. I feel like it saves dishes. I don't know if you can tell I'm really into saving dishes.
I'm super into your dishless approach.
Nobody
I'm
likes to do
always-
dishes, and
No.
especially if you're like hanging out outside, the last thing you want to do is like go back in and be like, oh, I have so many
Look
dishes
at your like
to wash.
mountain of dishes, and you
Yeah.
really want to hang out. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
exactly.
support that.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, everyone else
exactly.
is outside, and you're inside.
It's
looking
like
at your
such a bummer.
pile of
So
stuff.
yeah. So lemon juice. This is a really simple dressing. It's nice to make the dressing really bright. I would say another thing about grilled vegetables is they're often just really sweet and soft, and it's really important to add enough salt and enough fat. Sorry, we're switching.
Acid to get that
yeah,
brightness,
exactly.
yeah.
So all of these recipes generally have some kind of fat or acid. Sorry. Lemon juice, pinch of salt, pepper. Yeah, don't be afraid to go big on the salting. With making some dressing. So we'll add this to our tabbouleh. We'll leave this here because we're going to do another dressing for our carrot salad. Mix it all up. And looks good. Let's check back on our peppers. They're looking pretty good too. You just want them like cooked through, but to still have some bite to them. And to hold their shape, obviously, because you're going to stuff them. So we'll pull them off. And add some tabbouleh. The same thing that I was saying with the seeds, like you don't have to go through this whole thing to make your grilled vegetables delicious. Even if you just make like a peanut sauce or a quick sauce in like green goddess in a blender, the book has an entire section on little things like that you can do, even in advance, that just makes such a big difference for your grilled
seems
veggies.
Also, just quick, easy.
Well, it helps when you guys do all the prep too.
I mean, all they did was
But it
cook
is
the
really,
quinoa.
it's true. It is really quick and easy. And sorry. my
And theoretically, you could do like Trader Joe's tabbouleh or something, and still your freshly
Totally.
grilled pepper, and that would be
And then like,
super
look how
delicious.
much more appealing this looks than just like a plate of grilled zucchini next to all your burgers.
boo
So,
zucchini.
I don't know where we should
Yeah, that's
put it. Sorry, I
beautiful.
don't want to give grilled zucchini a bad rap.
No, we should
It just
definitely
is-
give it a bad rap. It's terrible.
But it's like
against
your
zucchini,
vegetarian
sorry.
friends will be so much happier, or non-vegetarian friends.
People who
Anybody-
like to eat veggies.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just.
Well, and I love the idea of being able to have the same dish that could be adapted with meat if you really wanted, for people who especially wanted that. But I always dislike that feeling of, here's dinner and here's a
Yeah,
vegetarian dish.
Totally.
For my vegetarian friend.
It's really nice to.
It's good to have it
Just
really
include
be
everybody.
inclusive, yeah,
Yeah.
right? Like a menu that is delicious for all eaters.
Totally. So I'm
that.
gonna move this stuff away. Maybe I can just put it on this side. Can I do this to you? So those are the stuffed peppers. Anybody have any questions specifically about stuffed peppers? Yeah?
Substitute any other tomatoes in here if you don't have those.
Yeah, of course. Just cut them little. I mean, my mom said to me a million times when I was growing up and helping her cook, like, think about the size that you want to put in your mouth, which I hated her for saying. But it's true. Like, you know, you just don't want it to all, like, fall out. So for the carrots, sorry, any other questions about the peppers? Yeah, do you have something? Not really. It just adds a little char to the outside. And also, vegetables don't flare up nearly as much as meat does because there's no fat dripping off. That's when you're grilling, that's where the flare-ups come from. And that's another thing I would say about cooking vegetables in general is that they're much more forgiving than meat. It's not like you just paid $35 for ribeye, and if you mess it up, like, your dinner sucks and you just spent a lot of money. You know, it's like we always want to treat our food well, but you can always, like, throw a few extra vegetables in or, you know, learn as you're going, and there's not so much at stake. It's like a really good way to get comfortable grilling, to get to know your grill.
Gas or charcoal? Dun, dun, dun.
So I think for vegetables, either one works great, and gas is the path of least resistance because you just turn it on. For meat, I usually use charcoal. You get a much better sear. I think it's really hard to get a good sear on meat, burgers, whatever, on a gas grill. Unless mine's
the like flavor of charcoal.
Yeah,
too,
it's just a different
smokiness.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm new to grilling. What is a grill basket?
A grill
basket?
basket?
A grill basket?
I think most people use grill baskets for vegetables and for fish. There are kinds that just, like, sit on top of your grill. And then there's other ones where if you're, like, making a whole fish, you put the fish in there and you put it on and then you flip it. That's usually it's usually so nothing falls down.
Okay.
Yeah, you seem like perforated metal baskets almost.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times if I'm doing asparagus, you don't want it to fall between the cracks of the grill.
Yeah.
Put it in the back.
Yeah.
Can you use a grill basket for indoor cooking?
I don't think you'd really need to. So
You would use like a regular pot or pan or frying pan or whatever. It's like a frying pan for your grill to some extent.
Yeah. Usually, if you're translating the recipes to indoors, either I'd use a grill pan if you're grilling something like lettuces. If you're trying to do something like a whole head of lettuce or something, you could use a grill pan for that. Otherwise, I use the broiler a lot. But nothing's going to fall through, you know. Yeah,
the basket for me just generally keeps things from falling through the spaces in the grill.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to move on to the carrot and avocado salad and just keep asking questions as we go. These are really beautiful carrots that you guys got. They're pretty small. I think I would cut them in half, just the long way. One like this is really tiny, so I'll keep it as is. This salad was inspired by one that I ate in New York at a restaurant called ABC Kitchen that's also like really veg forward. And it's just like such a delicious combination of things. So a little olive oil. See how easy this is to do it on the grill pan rather than like fighting with the shape of a bowl. Salt, some pepper. If your carrots were really small. For this recipe, I also use pimenton, which is like a smoky paprika that I use in a lot of the recipes. It's kind of like a double dose of like that smoky flavor. By the time you put the vegetables on the grill, works really nicely. We'll just toss them around a little. This works great for bringing things over, especially if you're doing the indoor-outdoor thing. And I know most people don't like mise en place their stuff on trays like you guys do here, but it actually works really well for the grill. I would say
then you can carry it all down to the grill. And it doesn't have to be a tray. You can do it on a sheet pan.
Exactly. It's really nice to be super organized, so you don't have to be like running in and out and like, oh, I forgot this thing, I forgot the other thing. Especially if you're grilling like pizzas and stuff, you want everything to go pretty fast. Everything does go pretty fast. You want everything to be pretty organized. So while those are grilling, I'm going to toast my seeds. And when I toast seeds, I use the path of least resistance. So if I need to use a pan for something later, I'll use a pan. If I do it a lot in the toaster oven, just like whatever creates the fewest dishes.
I love that philosophy.
I'm going to just put this right on the grill. I'm realizing now that I'm at Google that grilling vegetables is like the most low-tech thing you could possibly do, and I feel like I'm in this high-tech world where I'm like, and I'm
Food
just going to use
not
fire.
Have to be high-tech. No, it's all about.
So I'm going to let this. Maybe I'll move my carrots over a little to make room. And And I'm a big fan of doing whatever you can on the grill too, because part of grilling is that you don't have to get your house hot, you don't have to turn on the oven. So there are a couple recipes in the book where you, like for a shakshuka, you grill the vegetables, you blend a bunch of them up to make your sauce, and then you just put the pan right back on the grill. So that works pretty well. So this recipe uses sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds, and pistachios. So I'm just
All of the seeds.
seeds.
You said very clearly.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to do my pistachios first. Doesn't matter what order you do them in. Just toast them separately since they toast at different rates. Give them a shake. We'll let those go. It is, yes.
In a dry pan?
It is a dry pan.
Yeah. I feel like toasting nuts and seeds is one of those kitchen tasks where like, don't walk away.
Yeah, no, it's true. They burn so fast.
So easily.
Yeah. And you just want to toast them until they kind of smell nutty and golden and have some color on them. So they'll go. And if you have people who are allergic to nuts, just leave them out. If you didn't want to do nuts and seeds, or if you didn't want to buy all the different seeds, you could buy one and just have the volume be the same. Or you could use breadcrumbs. You could do pretty flexible things. These are not, they're going to take a little while, I think. Some of the other things I discovered while writing this book is that you can use a lot of the techniques you use with meats, like marinating or pre-salting on vegetables too. It works really well. So with something like cabbage that's like so dense, if you salt it ahead of time, like a few hours, it really draws out the flavor. Same thing, I have a recipe in there for like a squash curry, and where I marinate the squash in the curry sauce, I guess, and it really just gets the flavor in there. So there are lots of ways to be creative with vegetables.
Yeah, that's a great point.
grill.
I think people don't always think about that, right? Like marinating a vegetable could have the same effect, or using the same kind of spice, like rubs that you might use on a piece of meat. You could rub a head of cauliflower or a cauliflower steak and get a similar taste profile. I think that's a pro tip. Everybody talks about. Like, I think there's a whole generation that did vegetables steamed.
Yeah.
Many of our parents or grandparents kind of default to that. And I just think that there's so much you could do in terms of vegetable cookery.
It's true.
Treat them like ingredients on their own.
Yeah, exactly. So these carrots are almost good. They're getting really nice char marks. They're getting softer. You don't want them to be too hard. I think our pistachios are toasted. They're starting to smell extra pistachio-y. We'll put them back in their little bowl. I'll do the sunflower seeds next. We'll get those on the grill. I'm gonna pull the carrots off. You could plate this up on a really nice big platter and it looks very beautiful. We'll just do like an individual portion. And this kind of salad, you don't toss it all together, you kind of layer it. So you'll see as we build it. Give our sunflower seeds a toss. We'll put these in the bowl too. And we'll do our pumpkin seeds. And let those heat up.
So what are your layers going to be?
We'll do the layer of the carrots. And then, oh, shoot, I forgot to grill my citrus. Sorry. So grilled citrus is another really good chefy thing. Once you have your grill on anyway, you might as well add some grilled citrus because even if you don't do anything with it, which we will, we're going to make the dressing, it looks really pretty on the plate. It looks impressive. So let's add those. I'm doing exactly what you shouldn't do and walking away from my seeds, so hopefully they won't burn.
We put that juju out. I don't know. It might now.
Let's add our citrus on here. Right, so we'll do the carrots, we'll do avocado, some arugula, and then all the seeds.
So this would be a great one, like you said, to do on a big family style
Totally.
platter, barbecuing, or
Yeah.
summer picnic.
And it's good at room temperature. I would say a lot of the time, grilled vegetables are kind of best right when they come off. I think the kind of room temperature grilled vegetables are leftover and not that great, but this one is really good at room temperature. So we'll wait for our sesame seeds to toast. The citrus doesn't take very long.
What are you looking for? Just some marks on it?
Yeah,
or-
and it kind of gets like soft and a little caramelized. So as soon as these get there, I'll show them to you. The sesame seeds are taking on color. They go like faster than anything. Now they're kind of nutty smelling, a little more golden brown. They'll continue cooking from the heat of the pan a little bit, so you can pull them a little early. That's a good tip, because they can get burnt really fast. So we have our seeds. We'll add a big pinch of salt. Mix them up a little. While our citrus is grilling, we can get our avocado ready. I think everybody knows how to cut avocados, right?
Carefully.
In California, yeah. Pry it open. And get that out of there. So I have to say, since this is my first cookbook, I realized a thing, that as somebody who usually only cooks the recipes that have pictures, I beg you to look at the recipes that don't have pictures, because they're some of the best ones. So I can add this avocado.
How do you make that decision as the cookbook author? Do you get to say, like,
I wish it was my
these
decision.
are the glamour shots I want,
No.
highlight these, publisher?
Maybe if you're like Ina Garten, you do. But if you're me, they're like, we want to shoot these 20 recipes. What do you think?
And you have to
And
say, sure thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you should really shoot these other ones. And, you know.
But those are the good sleeper hits that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
B-side tracks people
Yeah.
will come to love.
Yeah. And I would say a lot of the time people ask me what my favorite recipes are in the book. And I really love the ones where I had to learn as I was going. So like the smoked beets, for example, or the squash curry is really cool. The artichokes, it's a great technique. So this orange is starting to get there. See, it's like nice and caramelized. There's brown spots. It's getting softer. So we can take this guy off. The lemons and this lemon is pretty good too. So let's put these over here. And in trying to stress the ease of grilling vegetables, like even if you took that lemon and squeezed it over your plate of grilled zucchini, it would be better than if you just left it plain. So for this dressing, you'll let these cool a little bit. You can see we're building our salad. Again, dressing in the measuring cup. Give it a squeeze. When you grill citrus, it gives up a lot more juice than it would otherwise.
Yeah, I was
which is
going to
nice.
say, that thing.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
And it makes the citrus a little bit less acidic, a little sweeter and more mellow, which is nice. This recipe makes more dressing than you need, but it's nice to use on other salads. So we'll squeeze all that in there. Maybe we'll leave this one on the plate to be very pretty.
Chefy, as you said.
Yeah, exactly. This one adds some vinegar. This was apple cider vinegar to add a little more acidity, since the citrus does get really sweet. Some salt. Probably want to do a big pinch. Pepper. Whisk it up. It's nice to add a little bit to dress your greens first. So usually with greens, I don't know if you guys know, the best way to dress a salad is to salt it first before you add any of the dressing, so the salt gets evenly dispersed, so it doesn't clump on the pieces that are the wettest. It's good.
That's a great tip. I hadn't heard that one before.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to go. That was like one of the first things I learned at Delfina. So you want to dress your greens so they're all dressed. Your hands work great. Tongs kind of bruise lettuces. So we'll add the arugula kind of around. Sorry. Pull some of your avocado and your carrots on top so it's all mixed together. Add a little more dressing. Oop. Drizzled over the top. And then sprinkle on all your seeds.
It's beautiful. It smells amazing from where I'm standing. I don't know if you guys are getting it, but woof.
So you can see all the layers. It does look really beautiful on a big platter. And in each bite, you get the kind of sweet, smoky from the carrot and the cool avocado and all the crunchy seeds and the citrusy dressing. It's just a really nice, balanced salad.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Do you guys have questions?
Yeah.
Is there a particular marinade you recommend? It's especially good with veg.
Sure. I think they mostly all work. I mean, my favorite marinades are kind of like the lemon, olive oil, whatever herbs you have works great. A chimichurri sauce works great because you can use it before and after. Or like a soy, sesame oil, brown sugar kind of marinade also works really well if you want to go in a more like Asian-y direction.
Yeah. You had a question over here?
Oh,
cool question. So where do you get your inspiration, and how do you as the cook really like learn in the process of creating recipes?
I spend a lot of time online Googling things. I read a lot of cookbooks and a lot of food websites, and I feel like there's inspiration everywhere. Or like the carrot salad, like if I go out to eat and I really like something that I eat, kind of trying to figure out how to recreate it at home. And then learning how to do it is just a lot of trial and error and like cross-referencing a lot of recipes and trying out like, oh, this technique for smoking potatoes works really well. I wonder if it'll work for beets too. They have a similar texture.
Who's your favorite like food blogger or food website? What's your go-to?
So I have 2 little kids right now, so a lot of my cooking is really simple. A lot of Smitten Kitchen recipes. They always come out really, really well. They're pretty easy. She also has a lot of little kids, so she feels the insanity.
Many of us do, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do to get your kids to eat vegetables? Please tell me.
I think they don't know what they're supposed to like and not like. So I think if you like, I've gone so far as to tell my son roasted Brussels sprouts are like Brussels sprout French fries, which he ate one. I don't know.
Like, I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
She's trying.
But I mean, they don't know what they're supposed to like and not like. So if you're like, here, try it, it's delicious, then they're like, okay. And they might like it and might not like it. But as long as you treat it all like it's all just food, you know, that seems to have kind of worked for me.
That's a cool idea. I like that.
Or like my mother-in-law is always like, I can't believe you're giving him kale or whatever. I'm like, my son doesn't really eat kale, but I've made him try it. You know, I'm like,
kids, kale.
He doesn't know.
It's normal.
I don't know. If you assume he's not going to like it and don't offer it, they're never going to like it. So
it's a great approach.
Yeah.
Ooh, what about grilling avocado?
I have for this salad, and it totally works. It's just whether you want like more of the temperature contrast or more grill flavor. But that's the great thing about grilling, right? You can do, or cooking in general, you can just do, if you
totally
grill your
possible.
avocado. Yeah. And
Sounds yummy.
sorry, yeah. And a lot of these recipes in this book are like pretty flexible. Like I give specified amounts of oil, but really it's like use enough oil to coat your vegetables. Your grill might be hotter than my grill and things might take longer, or, you know, who knows?
Trust yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How hot the grill is.
Question, do you grill veg at the same temps as meat, and do you have methodology for monitoring your grill temperature?
There's not a great way to monitor. I mean, lots of people say like the hand test, which I put in the book and then was reading more about it and was like, oh yeah, of course everybody has different pain thresholds, and so that's probably not the best way, even though I wrote it in there. Vegetables generally are at like medium. They don't need to be as hot. I feel like meats you kind of cook hotter because you really want that sear, and vegetables you need to be a little more gentle. I would say, again, like test a piece and see if it seems like the right amount, or if you want to wait for the grill to cool down more. One thing I would say that a lot of people probably don't realize is for charcoal grills, you want to cook with the top open mostly, and with gas grills, you want to cook with the top closed to keep the heat in. I think a lot of people get their grill, don't read about how you're supposed to do it and just like cook with it open, and people stand there at their gas grill like, why the hell isn't anything cooking? And that's why you have to cook with the top closed as much as you can. Yeah. To allow more air to circulate. So the way the heat goes is different between the two. Yeah. What's that? Oh, thanks.
Survey says super yummy.
Yeah.
And the carrot dish is vegan. The peppers are vegetarian. Did you have a question?
Cooking mushrooms?
What types of mushrooms are best on the grill?
They're all really good, honestly. I would definitely use a grill basket. Mushrooms are hard to get to stay. I know portobellos are like classic as the veggie alternative. I also think they're like kind of bland. Sorry.
You marinated. That's where I've applied
it's
marinating
true.
veggie. Like a marinated portobello can be good, but on
That's
their own,
true.
I mean, yeah. Especially if you are presenting it as a hamburger, like alternative, so you're a vegetarian friend, like do something to it, please.
But like in the book, there's a recipe for mixed vegetable spring rolls.
Yum.
Yeah, that are really good. And you just use any type of mushroom. For mushrooms, you can kind of use higher heat, and it releases that water, and just season them really well. And they're any kind is very delicious.
Yeah, grilling indoors. How do you decide what you do?
It kind of depends on what kind of vegetable it is. So if you're just looking for that sear on the outside, I would use a grill pan. If you're looking to like cook the vegetable through, like the carrot or the peppers, actually I would either roast it at a high heat or use the broiler. And every recipe in the book has the suggestion for how I would do it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I thank you so much. It
Thank
was
you
so
so much
fun,
for
and I
having
love
me.
it. Right now, I can't wait to go to the farmer's market this weekend and get a bunch of stuff and grill it all up. So thank you, and hopefully you'll come back and see us again.
I would love that. Thank you.
Yeah. All eating, but all
Thanks, guys.